The world before the flood, a time of giants, gods, and forgotten knowledge. Woe were the people who lived before the Tower of Babel. What gods did they serve? And what really happened after the flood? Today, we go back to the beginning, back to the world. Before history, most people think history starts with the Egyptians, the Sumerians, maybe the Greek spot. That's just the part we remember before these civilizations. Something else existed, something older, something powerful, first humans and the beings they called gods. Bible gives us a timeline from Adam to Noah. There were 10 generations, but by the 7th generation, something changed, something dark. World was filled with vile and strange beings walked the earth, and something not human ruled over men. Book of Genesis calls them the Nephilim. Woe were they? And where did they come from? The Nephilim were called giants, mighty warriorsmen of renown, but they were more than that. Ancient texts suggest they were the offspring of divine beings and human women. Hybrid Recithi were worshipped as gods, ruled over cities, built great monuments, but their rule brought corruption, dark rituals, and something even worse. Ancient writings say the Nephilim drank blood, devoured mankind. They spread knowledge that humans were never meant to have. Forbid. No lagatek to kanelgi. Science world before the flood was not primitive. It was advanced. So advanced that God destroyed it. Flood wiped them out, so we think bet some survived, not just Noah's family. Something else made it through the flood, something that would rise again after the flood. The survivors settled near Mount Ararat, but they did not stay. Slowly they moved south into the plains of Mesopotamia, a place called Sumerian. Here history begins. Sumerians called themselves the black-headed people, but who were they? And where did they come from? Their own writings tell us according to them. They were created at a place called Nippur city, where heaven and earth met. A city built by the gods. They did not claim to invent their own civilization. They said it was given to them. Their knowledge of tools, weapon soul came from the gods. But who were these gods? Some say they were just myths, but the Sumerians believed they were wealthy. Had Nemesti had homes. They walked among men and they demanded worship. Chief god of the Sumerians was Enlil, ruled from Nippur, commanded storms and the wind. Then there was Enkia, god of knowledge of secrets of hidden wisdom, and there were others, many others, but one thing is clear: those beings were not human. Some people today call them alien, some call them fallen angels, but one fact remains: they shaped the first civilization, guided its kings, gave laws, and they demanded sacrifices. Was the world after the flood, world ruled by the survivors of a forgotten age. Then came the Tower of Babel. Humanity was growing, cities were rising, and the people wanted one thing: to become like the gods. They built a tower, a gateway between heaven and earth, but something went wrong. The Bible says God scattered the nations, confused their language, and Babel fell. But what if the truth is deeper? What if something else destroyed the tower? Something that did not want humans to rise again. After Babel, the world split, people scattered. The knowledge was lost, but some of it remained in dests, down in secret, spread to Egypto-Babylanto, Grisith, same knowledgeth, same gods, different. Namastis is where all our religions come from. This is where it all began, and this is what they don't want you to know. The Tower of Babel was just the beginning. After it fell, the people scattered, new nations formed, new languages were born, but something else happened. Something dark. Earth gods did not disappear. They followed. They spread with the people. They took new nameth. They built new empires, and their influence remained. 7. Today let's go back to some earth. Black-headed people did not just disappear. They became something more. Their knowledge spread to Babylonto, Egypto, the Indus Valley civilization that came after the Mevari Great Empire followed the same paterna ruling class, priesthood, divine connection, and a hunger for power. But let's be clear, thus gods were not human, and they were not good. They demanded Templar sacrifundal in return. They gave secrets of war, secrets of the star, secrets of Contra-11. Today's secrets remain. Look at the world's oldest texts, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Thrig, Vidayath, Babylonian, Enuma, Elish. They all tell the same story: a time before the flood, a war between beings greater than men, a rebellion, Falland, a return. Some say the gods never left. Some Say they walk among us, still hidden. Wait, wang twang. The question is, what are they waiting for? The signs are everywhere. In sites built with impossible precision, temples aligned to celestial patterns, movements that defy explanation. Were these just temples, or were they something else? Gateway spaces between worlds. The Sumerians believed their gods came through portals. Egyptians built structures to guide the soul. Mayans spoke of places where the gods descended. And what do we find in all these places? Blood sacrifice. This was not just ritual. This was something else. A mething, ancient, something older than history, something that has never truly stopped. Even today, symbols remained obeliskish pyramids, hidden signs woven into architecture, religion, culture. They tell a story, one we were never meant to understand. And now we must ask, if these gods ruled the past, though they still rule today. What if the world's religions were never separate? What if they all point back to the same source, the same knowledge, same hidden handwit? If the ancient war never ended, what if it is still being fought in ways we don't understand? Every empire that rose eventually fell, not by accident, by chance. A mething reset the world again and again until only ruins remained. And Noah's next flood wiped away the past. Tower of Babel shattered humanity's unity. But what comes next? What happens when the cycle begins again? Are you ready to remember what's next? Let's grow in depth, intensity, and mystery. We've covered the spread of ancient knowledge. After Babylon, gods shaped empires through hidden knowledge. How ancient civilizations may have built gateways to connect with these binds. Possibility that history repeats itself in cycles. Next part, we'll dive deeper into the hidden bloodlines that carried this knowledge forward, symbols in modern society that hint at ancient control. Final war between these forces and what it means for the future. Let's go deeper. We've uncovered the ancient past, flood, fall of Babel, rise of the first gods. But now we must ask, where did this knowledge go? Who still holds it? And what happens when it returns? After Babel, the world was scattered. Lands divided, nations formed. Medbet power. Power remained with the few. Ruling class. Priesthood keepers of ancient knowledge. History tells us civilizations rise and fall. But what if that's not the full story? What if power was never truly lost? What if it was passed down in secret? Through bloodline, through symbols, through ritual. Look at the kings of history. Look at their lineage. The Pharaohs, Caesars, emperors. They all claimed divine rights. They all traced their bloodlines back to the gods. Even today, royal families hold on to the same heritage. Because the war never ended, it simply went underground. Ancients built temples. Today, we built monuments, pyramids, obelistic, hidden symbols woven into architecture. Governments, religion, are still herethi, never left. Look closer. Same symbols appear across culturist, all-seeing, serpent, winged disc. Coincidence? Or a message? A reminder of the ones who ruled before and the ones who still rule. No, but here's the real question: if these beings controlled the past, if they shaped empires, if they guided kingshat, is their end goal? Why keep the world in cycles? Why allow civilization to risenly to fall again? What are they waiting for? Some say it's a prophecy, a return, a day when the gods of old will walk the earth again. And this Timothy won't be hiding. Every empire that fell, it was never random. Something resets the world over and over again. But what happens when the final reset comes? When the cycle ends? What happens when the gate is open at a name last time? Look at the world. Tower of Babel. Same signs appear before every collapse. Could it be happening again? Are we repeating the past? Are we living in the final days before history resets? The ancients knew some things, and we have forgotten something we were never meant to remember. Betna wet coming back to past is not dead at, is not gone at, is awake. The only question left is, are you ready for what comes next? They never left what's next. This video is turning into something truly legendary. We've covered how power never disappeared. It was passed down in bloodline. Show ancient symbols and rituals still control society today. History isn't random, but follows a hidden prophecy of the return of the gods. Let's finish this. Wove uncovered the hidden past. We've We've seen how power never disappeared. We've traced the ancient bloodlines, but Noah must ask the final question: what happens when the cycle ends? Something is coming, something old, something inevitable. Signs are everywhere of it. Most will never see them by because they weren't meant. Tough world is being prepared for. What? For who? Every civilization that rose was guided, every empire that fell, allowed to fall. This is not chaos, this is a paterna plan. Look around you, technology is advancing faster than ever. Boundaries between worlds are blurring. Genetic engineering are unlocking things we were never meant to touch, and just like before, gods are watching. Same beings that ruled before ya, still Herethi, are hidden, but they are guiding, preparing for the return. Ancients knew this day would come. Every culture spoke of ith final empurethi, last deception moment when the veil is lifted and the gods of old step into the light. But here's the truthy, when never gods thee were something else, a mething darker, and now the world belongs to themth bloodlines, still rule eth, ancient symbols still stand, rituals have never stopped, but and Sunthi won't have to hide any more for thousands of years. We've been told a story that history is progress, that we are advancing, but what if we're not? What if we're just repeating the past own last time? Everything is in placeth world, is red-eyeth cycle is ending, gand. Soon something new will begin, but not for all of you, sir. You ready? This is it. We've gone from the pre-flood world and the rise of the Nephilim, scattering of Babel and the hidden godsith, ancient bloodlines that still rule today's final cycle, and what happens when it ends. This lingers in the mind, it feels forbidden, it makes people question everything.